I am so very, very delighted to be here with you. And of course, at the 8 o'clock service, when I said that, a little baby cried out in great joy. So since he's already gone, say, okay. I really am delighted to be here. And I received the call a couple of weeks ago asking if I would be available to come and be with you this Sunday. It was the one Sunday in September there was not a candidate for the new position for senior minister, that there was a need for a preacher, well, that's my word, speaker, somebody to bring the message, whatever language you prefer. And apparently, all of the folks that were sought who actually live in Oahu were not available. So when I was asked if I could come, and I was teaching a class Friday and Saturday, I said, if there is a flight after my class that allows me to get here in time for the 8 o'clock service, then I will see that as a sign from God that I'm intended to be here. And it is in that spirit that I am here with you today.
Thank you.
The message that was given to me to share with you is from the book of Hebrews, and it was written to a group of Jews who had taken in and had embraced Christ consciousness as their journey. But as happens for us in our humanity, as things got a little rocky, they say, well, wait a minute, maybe we need to go back to the default patterns and beliefs and behaviors that we know. And it often happens for us when things get a little rough, we go to default patterns and default thoughts that we've known from our past. And so here you are in a time of transition, probably not much unlike that these Hebrews were experiencing. And it is the case that many of us then go back to the default thoughts from our past, the messages that we have been taught, and what I call narratives. We have these narratives. You know life is hard. You know you can't trust people. You know people are out to hurt you. You know you work hard and you still won't have enough money. Have you ever heard any of those narratives? Yes. Well, even those who are in a community such as Unity, where every week you are filling yourselves with new thought, every now and then, especially in times of transition. For many of us, we go to the thoughts of our past. And the human brain does not know the distinction between past memories, present experience, and vision for the future. All of the research shows that when people are remembering something that happened to them, it lights up all of the pathways in the brain as if they were presently in the experience. And have you ever remembered something that was either a great joy or an incredible trauma, and your body can start to react as if the thing is happening right then? But it's also been shown in research that we can't distinguish vision from the present either. There's been a lot of research with athletes to have one group sit in a chair and vision what they want. Basketball players, for example, to vision themselves making successful passes and getting that layup and getting that three-pointer and making sure they get their what do you call it when you're free throw? Oh, you see, I don't play basketball. But anyway. And what has been shown in the research is that when they've had a control group, people doing their regular basketball practice the way they've always done it, and when they put them with the folks who have been sitting in a chair visioning themselves in success, the people who have been visioning it often outperform those who were doing what they've always done. The brain doesn't know the difference between the vision and the present experience. But here's the thing. Most of us meditate on particular thoughts. There's a scripture that says, "Oh God, on thy word," I'm going King James Version, that's what I grew up with, but "thy word do I meditate day and night." But often we meditate on the hurt feelings. Meditate, that's what we keep repeating in our minds. We meditate on the disappointments and on the heartache and the disillusionment. We meditate on the guilt and the shame that we perceive about ourselves when we did not accomplish what we thought we were supposed to accomplish. Often we meditate on those things and then say, but this is what I want for my future. But we're spending our thought time with things of the past, default thoughts and behaviors and patterns. So here's my situation. A few years ago, I was pastor of a church when Spirit said to me it was time for me to leave the church. God didn't tell me what I was to do next. I left my housing, my income, my health benefits, etc., that came with that job. I knew God was taking me on a rich, wondrous adventure, future. I knew that because that's what God does. But after a while, when the money was not coming, I said, okay, God, I'm starting to feel some kind of way. Do you know that expression, feel some kind of way? That is, maybe it's anger, maybe it's frustration, maybe it's hurt, maybe it's fear. You don't quite know what it is, but you're feeling some kind of way. It's an experience of discomfort. So sometimes we're feeling something and we might not quite have the language to describe and to understand what it is we're feeling. And that's when I use feeling some kind of way. And so I was feeling some kind of way because the money was not coming. God said, take this step out here, and I'm honoring that. I'm trusting. But in my humanity, it was not moving along quickly enough. So I went to default thinking from the past. And that's what I was meditating on. Oh, I'm broke. This is going so slow. God, I don't know why you had me do this. This is how you're going to treat a sister. You invited me to come and do this, and now look. So I'm meditating based on narratives from my past. And then I woke up. I remembered this quote I learned during seminary from 12th century mystic Julian of Norwich, in which she says, all is well. All manner of things will be well. All will be well. Now, when I first read those words from Julian, I said, well, sister girl, perhaps, I guess you hear I like to use that, sister girl. I said, sister girl, perhaps all is well in the convent. but not out here where the rest of us are having to deal with life. But here it was, those words were haunting me about 10, 15 years after I first learned them. They were haunting me. And I said, what if Julian is right? What if my definition of all is well has really been all is easy, all goes the way I want it, in the time I want it? And so I started really reflecting on that. What does well really mean? Because when I am operating with the narrative that all is well means it's easy, it's what I want, it's in the time I want, there are a lot of things that don't happen that way. And then I'm in that place of, see, I should have known it wouldn't work. See, I must have messed something. Maybe I'm not faithful enough, and that's why this thing hasn't happened yet. So here I was in this in-between space, much like the space that you are in now as a congregation. In the in-between space. It is that space where we can either meditate on the past and pick up some of the default thoughts and feelings and behaviors that we've used in the past and bring them into this moment, or we can choose to vision the future that God is calling us into in the confidence that all is well. Now understand, when we operate with the future vision, bringing it into the present, because the brain doesn't know the distinction, it starts changing how we perceive what's going on right now. So the writer of the book of Hebrews urges the folks, as they are wrestling what to do, God will never leave you or forsake you. Something happens for us when we live in that confidence. When we live knowing we don't have to figure it all out on our own. You see, when we feel we have to figure it all out by ourselves, anxiety always enters the room. It impacts not only how we relate with ourselves, but also how we relate with others in our community. And then the default thoughts and behaviors guide how we show up. It's not just in the convent. All is well. Sisters and brothers, all is well. Sometimes we have to ask God, okay, I heard that lady say that, but you're going to have to show me the wellness of this all. God, help me to see that perhaps even in things not going the way I thought they were going to go, in the timing I thought they would, that there's some amazing thing that you and I together are co-creating. Not from an anxious place, but from a place of possibility. Sisters and brothers, all is well. Meditate on those words. All is well. All manner of things will be well. All will be well. That is a testimony we cannot come to if we have not been through struggle. Otherwise, they are just words. But when you know that, in your spirit, it's because you've come through the fears. You've come through the disappointments. You've come through the worry and the anxiety and feeling some kind of way. All is well. All manner of things will be well. All will be well. If you will turn to a neighbor and say those words, all is well. All manner of things will be well. All is well. Meditate on that and allow your brain to invite that as your experience in this present moment. God bless you.
God bless you.